This is Colm McGuigan for IFL TV. Delighted to be joined by Joe Cordina. Joe, really tough fight tonight. A lot of people maybe overlooked Vasquez. I know that you didn't. Was he tougher than you expected?
Yeah, not so much tougher. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was a tough fight. It was just awkward. It was more awkward and nothing really happening. Like, it's quite hard to explain because I was expecting him to come forward, trying to be on my chest constantly and work, and I just think he didn't have the belief in his fitness, his stamina. So that's why he was floating about, trying to keep himself and having their little bursts. But I was expecting him to have a Mexican shootout, like he said in one of his interviews or his presser. I can't remember which one, but yeah, I made it more difficult than what I should have. It should have been, thanks to what it should have been. And when I was boxing in spurts in the fight, it was quite comfortable. But like I said, some of the times it was just nothing happening. So I was trying to ignite it, and yeah, it played into his hands. So yeah, my own fault. I didn't box my best, but I got the win, and that's what matters.
I looked around tonight, and your fans are. I've seen some seriously irate Irish fans. I've never seen anything like what I seen tonight from some guys in here, mate. Like, honestly, it looked as if every single punch they were throwing with you. Could you feel that in there as well tonight?
Yeah, obviously the people I come over, I did tell. I can't remember what I told, because they only had 25 tickets, so I had to dish them out accordingly. And the people I wanted to come over first, and the people that come to my fights all the time, they're like from rough areas, and they're half game as well. So yeah, and it's always good to have them around, and they support me wherever I go. And yeah, and like a schizo, he got in with a stony trackie on.
Oh man,
can you imagine? And he's a great guy. When funny enough, when he told me he booked the flights and the hotel and whatever, I didn't have any tickets left. So I was like, Skittle, I'm going to try and get you a ticket. But I was trying to find one all week. I even spoke to Mike, who sorted the event out, and he was like, oh, I'll see what I can do. But obviously he's a busy man. He ended up in here anyway with a stony trackie on. Can't fault him.
Joe, I need to ask a few questions. So I spoke to Eddie, and I asked about the next move for Joe Cordina. I said, is the rematch going to be there for Vasquez? Because you've seen his reaction in the ring where he felt that he was robbed. First of all, would you give him a rematch? And secondly, do you think he deserves it after tonight's performance?
For what? Nah. For what? The mad thing is, he didn't really do much. He had like a little burst, one burst around. And the only success he had is when I give it to him, because nothing was happening. You can't come into a world title fight like that. He's saying he's gonna show me this, that, and the other, and he's saying all some shit. He's just a loudmouth yank. That's all he is, and that's all he was doing. He's bitching after the fight, and like he said in a press conference, don't make excuses when I beat you. You can't come into a world title fight and try and nick it and like float about and then have a little burst and float about again. You can't do that unless you're completely like dominating every time and you're making me miss constantly. But no, my two hands are bruised. My knuckles are bruised because I'm landing and clean on his head. I only got that little thing on my face. I can't see any other. I got a headbutt where he headbutted me. That's it. He had a cut, bruised eyes, little cut on his nose. So I was catching him a lot cleaner than what he was catching me. He did have a little bit of success, but that's only because I allowed him to. But listen, he's a good fighter and he's better than what I thought. But believe me, I didn't underestimate him. Maybe subconsciously I did, but in my head I trained for a very tough fight.
Where does he rank among all of your opponents?
He don't rank high, like very high. He don't punch hard. He punches like a flyweight. I've literally this Conor Mitchell. He's a young man. Kevin Mitchell's boy, young man, 57 kilos, and he punches way harder than him. And I've done little bits of sparring with him, and he's a good fighter. And he punches harder than him. You got Fred Pullen in our gym. He trained by Kevin. He punches way harder than him. So they're kids. He's going on like he's some killer. I said he was a good fighter. But then when he going on, like, he just let himself down, like making excuses and all this shit, blaming the ref and the judges or whatever it was. It's not as if I'm the home fighter. I'm a Welsh geezer fighting in Monaco with 3 neutral judges. He's in America with 3 neutral judges. Come on, get over yourself.
I spoke to Eddie. I asked him, what's next for Joe Cordina. You've made no kind of thing about it. You just want money. You don't care who it is, right? He did say that Leigh would. Ben Davison he hinted this, he didn't say it, but he hinted that Ben Davison originally didn't really like the fight, but he thinks after tonight he will like it. Is that a fight that you would welcome Leigh Wood in a stadium in the UK?
Yeah, but it's got to work for both of us. I'm the champion at the end of the day, and I'm the champion at the end of the day, and I want a fight in my hometown. He wants one in his hometown. If it can't work out, it can't work out, but it's a fight that I like, and I'm very interested in, and we can both make big money from it.
Last one. If it's not Leigh Wood, who would you like it to be, Joe?
Any of the champions, but whoever makes the most money. So whoever makes the most money, basically, for me. I've achieved everything I want to achieve, and my career is closing. The gap's closing now. So I want to make as much money as I can before I decide to walk away from the sport. I ain't finished yet, but I need to make some money.
What's the plans tonight? Go out to the Irish pub with your fans, or smoke a big cigar with David Diamante?
Yeah, I'd love to smoke a cigar with David or Chisora. Chisora's always fun. I was in Mayfair one day and I was sitting in a cafe, and he comes out of the restaurant Scott's, walks across the road with his walking stick and his hat on, and he's walking down the road. And I said, "Where are you going?" He collared me. I was sitting having lunch with my mate Ahmed, and he said, "I'm going to get a cigar now." He come out with a cigar, probably it was about that long, like King Kong's finger. That's how long it was. And he had it hanging out of his mouth. It was so funny. He said, "The special blend." I said, "Which one's that?" And he went, "Nah, special one. They make it for me." So yeah, I'd love to have a cigar with him, but we'll see what I got to do my drug testing, face my anti-doping, and then go from there.
Well, Joe Cordina, thank you very much for this week, mate. Been a pleasure. Good to see you get the victory, and hopefully see you again soon.
Cheers, bro. Thank you.